Hi, Sarah.
Well, I think we just lost audio with John. We will get reconnected with John. He's going to be joining me throughout the hour. Very thankful that he's there for us on the ground. So he's in Miami right there. Let's talk about Daytona Beach. Daytona Beach first responders, they are out rescuing people trapped by the storm. They were doing that just this morning. The city really wasn't expected to get a hard hit by Irma, but oh, it did. Our Sarah Seidner, as you see right there, was out in it this morning when the storm just moved in. Brutal what she was standing there through. Just watch this. Unbelievable. Of course, you can't hear what she's saying, but you don't need to hear what Sarah's saying. You can see it and just how she's trying to stand there and stick through that brutal, ferocious wind. Joining me now is the Daytona Beach Mayor, Derrick Henry. Mayor, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Thank you so much for getting on the phone. I really appreciate it. How did that was just early this morning what Sarah Seidner was going through. How do things look now?
Things are looking much better. We're fortunate we had no fatalities and no major injuries to anyone, and the water is starting to subside. But of course, those 6-7 hours were quite horrific for many of our residents and first responders.
And Mayor, somewhat of a surprise. I mean, the winds were just ferocious. It wasn't supposed to get hit as hard as it did.
Well, the nature of storms is that they do what they want to do, and this storm took a quick turn, and that's why we teach our residents and encourage them to be vigilant and prepared. And fortunately, most people here in Daytona Beach listened and took the warning and never let their guard down.
Yeah, absolutely. They're so thankful for that. Any sense of the damage so far to Daytona Beach?
Well, the damage is not as extreme as it could have been. Tree lines, we do have some trouble, and we have some problems over on our beach side. But overall, the damage is not as bad as it was, say, during Matthew or storms of the past. So we're very fortunate.
We had reports of emergency rescues in Daytona Beach early this morning. What are you hearing from police and fire?
Well, I think it was around 2 a.m. this morning. They had to go out and rescue about 25 people from our downtown riverfront, one of our communities down there. And that was quite a dynamic scene, and they showed their courage as they always do. They were prepared and did a great job rescuing those folks, but no one was injured and everyone was brought into safety.
Where did they take them? Just shelters?
Yes, they took them to a shelter here in the city.
Oh, that's great. What is the biggest concern that you have right now that the storm is slowly moving away?
That residents will not keep their guard up in terms of safety, the use of generators, the use of or the fear of down wires going out too soon. Although the water is starting to subside, the one thing that we do not want is the loss of life or anyone to get injured. So we want residents to now move to the next phase, which is caution after the storm begins to subside, and you're not feeling a sense of relief as if they can go to their lives as normal. So that's the next stage, but it's always caution, and that's my fear now. Absolutely,
and it might be quite a while with so much power outages till everybody is kind of back to quote-unquote normal, if you will. And also after these storms, something big like this, the question is always, what are the lessons learned, Mayor? What are the lessons you've learned for your city in making it through this one?
Well, the lesson that we've learned is continue to be vigilant, to be united, continue to always get the word out as much as possible. Communication is key, and always listen to your first responders. Leave the road clear for them to do their jobs. As residents, we don't ever want them to impede the work that the first responders are doing, and those are some of the lessons that we've learned.
And on a personal note, you're a Daytona Beach native. What's it been like for you?
Well, I've been here my entire life, and having back-to-back major storms is really a first. and so it's quite fearful because you love your city and you want it protected. But certainly, I'm just happy this morning that things are not as bad as they could have been.
Absolutely. Mayor Derrick Henry, thank you so much, Mayor, for getting on the phone. Thank you so much for your hard work and for all the first responders out there in your city helping out. We really appreciate it.
Okay.